Oh, I guess I did.
One was I just wish she had told me sooner. Then I could have gotten with my dad. Remember, of course, things I left there, but also plus. Mom said, "Well, what do you want to say goodbye to people? You know, just show them. I'll tell you." Okay.
Oh, you can still walk and take a bite.
Tell you, thank you for the bite. I know. All right.
The good times you spend with the people you care about are always the things you cherish most. Smiles, laughter, memories. The smallest moments that can give life the biggest meaning. More than anything else, Disney parks and resorts exist to make these moments come alive. It's at the heart of everything we do. From the very first experience we created to wherever we go next. Our characters, our attractions, our ships, our resorts, our passion for storytelling, our commitment to service. All the tools we use every day are just a way to make these moments happen and continue to happen as we conjure up new magic to share with our guests around the world. Since we began this amazing journey, over 2 billion people have traveled along with us.
We're going for a whole week.
In a worldwide Disney story, illustrated by all the individual smiles, laughter, and memories that will live forever in their hearts.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mickey Mouse and the D23 Orchestra.
without any further ado, please welcome a guy who's really in the know. My good pal, Tom Staggs.
Hello, everybody. Hey, Mickey. I gotta hand it to you. You're getting pretty good at those sticks.
Oh, gosh. Well, thanks, Tom. And say, how about that D23 band?
Well, you know, I saw you in Sensational, and I saw you in the dance crew. You're pretty awesome there, too, as well. I was thinking, bust a move right here, Nick.
Well, I can't go on.
I was thinking maybe we could go. Maybe we could put you on Dancing with the Stars. I saw Tom Bergeron there. Tom Bergeron said they're still casting this season's show, so we
Casting, really? Oh, you think I could?
Well, I'll tell you the truth. We've got all kinds of plans ahead of us, and there's a lot of new stuff coming to the parks all over the world. We're going to need you more than ever.
Well, I did hear that, and I've got my bags all packed for Hawaii.
That's a tough duty, but someone's got to do it, maybe.
I guess so. Well, I'm the mouse.
Yes. We certainly are. Now, don't forget Shanghai. We've got that coming up.
Oh, yeah. Me and I are practicing our Chinese as we speak. Ni hao.
Well, ni hao, Mickey. You're sounding especially articulate today.
Well, thank you.
We've got a big show, though. So, can you do me a favor? Maybe go backstage and round up our special guests?
Sure. And make sure everybody's neat and pretty.
Absolutely.
You bet. Then you get on with the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for Mickey Mouse. Well, it's really an honor to be with you all here today. D23 members are some of the greatest Disney fans in the world. Your passion, energy, your affection for Disney are some of the biggest reasons why all of us at the Walt Disney Company do what we do. By the way, I spent almost 12 years as CFO of the Walt Disney Company. I did a lot of speeches at Wall Street. You guys are way more fun. I'm also excited to be able to update you on some of the biggest projects we've got underway. You know, we're in the middle of the biggest period of expansion in Disney Parks and Resorts history. We have major projects going on quite literally around the world. We've got new ships, new hotels, new lands, new rides, even whole new destination resorts. The array of projects really is extraordinary. Now, we actually have so much going on that we're unfortunately not going to be able to cover everything today, but I think you'll like what we have to show you. So let's wander over to the office and we'll get the show going. Well, they built it, I have to use it. As we show you all of the great things that we're building, I want to emphasize one key thing, and that's that the ships, the hotels, castles, the mountains, the mansions, the teacups, say that 3 times fast, that we build are created with one single purpose, and that is to give you and the people that you care about opportunities to make memories that will last a lifetime. As our opening video highlights, that's really what Walt Disney Parks and Resorts is all about. Creating great experiences for each and every one of you, every time you walk through our gates, stay at our resorts, or board one of our ships. That mission and the stewardship of Disney Parks and Resorts is a responsibility I take very seriously. Having said that, I have to tell you, this job is spectacularly fun. I'm guessing you suspected that all along. Since becoming head of Parks and Resorts in January 2010, I've already had many once-in-a-lifetime experiences, like the launch of the Disney Dream, or the Shanghai Disney groundbreaking, for example. as unforgettable as those moments are, I have to tell you that my favorite moments really have been spending time with our cast members and getting a deep understanding and appreciation of their roles. Especially early on, I tried to spend as much time as possible getting a feel for our parks, our resorts, and our cruise ships. Now, since you can't really go anywhere without somebody capturing it on video, we thought it might be fun to share a few of those moments with you here today. Take a look.
Nice and juicy. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Disney's famous Jungle Cruise. My name's Tom. I'll be your guide today. Up ahead is beautiful Schweitzer Falls, one of our more liquid assets.
Can I have a balloon, please?
Absolutely, little buddy. Here, we just pull one out of here for you. Here, have a magical day.
Your dreams come true.
Seriously, Jay did this?
Oh yeah.
Jen, we're gonna need a bigger bucket.
Starboard 10.
Starboard 10. I told you to let that go.
So let it? Yeah, fine.
Seriously?
It stretches.
Who's this dude? No.
I defy you to sit on the bridge of one of our ships and not think of the Starship Enterprise. It's impossible. Captain Forward didn't like to do Star Trek to us, though. In all seriousness, one of the best parts of filming that was getting the chance to interact with so many of our cast and crew members. Now, as you probably know, we do a great deal of research with our guests. And over the years, we've consistently heard the same thing. And that is that the #1 driver of a great Disney guest experience is our phenomenal cast. They bring everything we do to life. And they're our They really are what sets us apart as a company. Our cast, crew, and Imagineers are dedicated to carrying on the great legacy of quality, creativity, safety, and innovation that began over 56 years ago. And working with such a talented and passionate group of people is really a fantastic honor for me. So thanks to all of them. One particularly exciting and frankly humbling aspect of this job is diving in with the Imagineers and participating in the constant explosion of ideas and creativity in which they're engaged. When Walt Disney said that Disneyland would never be complete, I think he was actually making a promise to you, our guests, a promise that all of our parks would continue to evolve. Our Imagineers are at the center of that, making good on that promise by continually pushing the boundaries of imagination to make the impossible possible. So I thought it might be fun for you to hear directly from some of our Imagineers about the very latest in some of the projects that we've got underway directly from them. Now, we talked about many of these projects in the past, but we'd like you to be the first to see and hear some new details that we haven't shared outside the walls of Imagineering yet. Now, I know you're all excited about our expansion of Fantasyland. This project is actually, I'm excited too. This is actually the largest expansion in the history of Magic Kingdom, which, by no coincidence, celebrates its 40th anniversary this October. So there's been a lot of information out about this expansion, but our plans have continued to evolve. I also thought this would be a great opportunity for you to see and hear from someone very important to all of Disney parks. He is a great champion of creative excellence at our parks. He's also the chief creative executive at Walt Disney Imagineering. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Bruce Vaughn. All right, so we've got a lot going on. How do you feel?
I'm feeling busy. I think this is the busiest Imagineering has been since its beginning.
So can you tell us a little bit about Fantasyland in particular?
Absolutely. Fantasyland at Magic Kingdom is our most popular park. So the opportunity to reimagine this Fantasyland is actually not only a rare opportunity, but it's something that is incredibly exciting for us. The big idea starts with that wall that you see up in that beautiful concept image. The wall both defines the castle courtyard on one side, but also allows us to imagine a fantasy forest that goes beyond it.
So, how about you take us in and give us a look around?
Sure. Before we go in, I want to explain what you're going to see. Whenever we build a new land or attraction, we create a detailed model. And we do this because we want to be able to visualize what the place will look and feel like when it's complete. Anyone who has seen any of these models knows that they're works of art, but for Imagineers, they're also very important tools. They help us determine sight lines, analyze guest flow, see the massing of rockwork, and get an overall sense of the aesthetics of the place. With all that said, let's take a flight through our model of Fantasyland. Now, as you can see, we've taken this opportunity to totally transform the Fantasyland experience. We've added topography, so there will be little hills and meandering paths that reveal cottages and castles from our most beloved stories. We also have added a lot of trees and rivers and streams that we think will invite our guests to just sit around and relax in this place.
All right, so I love the look of it. A few more details.
Okay. Why don't we dive into the Little Mermaid attraction? As you all know, Ariel is one of our most popular characters around the world. She finally got her attraction after all these years. How many of you have gone to the Little Mermaid attraction here at DCA? So you all know what our Magic Kingdom guests have to look forward to. And I love this attraction because we took a classic dark ride and we took it to a whole new level by adding some of the most sophisticated animatronic figures and a bunch of new special effects.
You know, actually, I had the opportunity to introduce the Legend ceremony this morning. We just had Joe Benson, the voice of Little Mermaid, become a Disney legend. So that's kind of a fun thing to start this. But so I look at this picture here, and I see this looks nothing like the thing that we built across the street. You want to talk about that?
I do. Think anything about you? So actually, this facade is very different to the one here at California Adventure. That's because here the facade is set on Paradise Pier. In Florida, we're going to be in Fantasyland. So the theming is completely different on purpose. In Florida, the guests will get to walk along the seashore and enter through Prince Edward's Castle. We've also pulled the story out into the queue line in a way that we've never done before. Guests will help Skull and his friends go on a virtual scavenger hunt to collect Who's-Its and What's-Its, and with a few little surprises along the way.
So we all know that one of the most memorable moments for people at a Disney park is when one of our younger guests meets their favorite princess for the first time. So maybe you can talk a little bit about how we're making that a more special moment.
Yeah, we're taking the meet and greet experience to an entirely new level, and we're starting it with the Belle meet and greet in Florida. In this rendering, you can see that we've got the Queen's Castle in the background, and in the foreground, we actually get to go into Belle's cottage. We want people to approach this cottage and wonder, what's going on in there? Well, I'm sure you all remember that Belle loves books and she loves stories. Well, when their guests go into this cottage, they're going to have an opportunity to help Belle tell those stories, or act out those stories. And she's going to do it with a very exciting friend, Lumiere. We're going to bring him to life so he can host this attraction.
So you're saying you actually took a skinny 2-foot candelabra with these little arms and made it into an animatronic. Now that's significant.
That is. It actually
Well,
is
I would
very.
have said.
That's right. It actually is a big deal. In fact, it's tricky enough to take a human scale figure and put all of the mechanics and everything into that. In fact, Lincoln is 6'4". Now we're dealing with this little candelabra, but it's an entirely different challenge to design in the air. In fact, this is one of the toughest audio animatronic figures we've ever worked on. But through a lot of innovative thinking, hard work, and collaboration with Disney Animation, we figured out how to bring Lumiere to life for our guests. And we've done it in a way that keeps him true to scale and how he moves and expresses himself in the classic film. To do this, we used every trick in the book, and we even had to write some new ones, including creating a computer-generated lumiere that has all the mechanical and physical limits of the motors and materials that take to make him up. Let's take a look at this model.
Our guest, be our guest, put our service to the test, entire American world.
Now remember, that's not just a piece of CG animation like you see in one of our animated films. That's a digital tool that informs our Imagineers on how to design, build, and program an audio-animatronics figure. And the work we've seen in our lab is incredible.
You know, this is the kind of thing that I really love. When our Imagineers can create something that our guests see and they go, wow, how did they do that? I think this is going to be one of those things. All right, so I'd love to talk a little bit more about one of the things that we haven't talked about much yet. It's something that I think will probably become a centerpiece of the Fantasyland expansion, and that is the Seven Dwarfs Mind Person.
Yes. In fact, this attraction didn't even exist the last time we were here talking about Fantasyland at D23. We dreamt it up in the period between then. And I already think this is going to be one of our best and most popular family coasters. Now, I say that because we're combining the best of our family thrill rides, immersive storytelling, of our classic dark rides. Plus, we're adding an entirely new ride system and some new special effects. Also, this is the first time in any of our parks where we focus specifically on the Seven Dwarfs and their story. One thing we love to do in Imagineering is find those moments in our films that make us say, I'd love to do that. We feel the scene in Snow White and the mine cars racing through the diamond mines is just that kind of moment. Now, it's an iconic scene in the movie, so we have to get it right.
Turns out you can't just buy a dwarf coaster off the shelf.
Yeah, that's very true. We did start with the vehicle, though, and we went through many iterations of the design. Because not only does it have to look good, it has to work. Next, we focused on the swinging motion of the vehicle. We need to get a sense of how the motion of the buckets that you see in that film would work. So we bolted together a prototype, put it on the back of a pickup truck, and drove around our parking lot window.
Wait, hold on. I think we need to tell the story right.
Okay.
So they bolted together a prototype and put it in the truck, and then they made you and I ride it like first.
That's interesting. Hey, except for saying, I don't know. Anyway, once that ended happily, we moved on to the next step, which was to utilize our powerful previous tools. And much like we did with Lumiere, we started creating a virtual model. Now, this is a model of the ride vehicle and track layout, and we did this because we wanted to experiment with just how much motion would be right for our guests. Once we're satisfied, we created the entire attraction on the computer so everyone on the team could go on a virtual ride. This is the first moment we get to put together all of the elements that go into making one of these very complex attractions.
So, why don't you take us on the ride?
Well, we haven't shown this to anyone outside of Imagineering yet. I don't know, what do you guys think? Should we see it? All right, we'll show you. Now, I'm going to do a little preface here. Keep in mind that what we're showing is not the whole attraction, but it is bits and pieces. It's just enough that give you an idea of how we use this tool to decide where we're going to place the figures, how long we'll be in a certain scene. You need to get a feel for the faster parts of the ride. I'm going to shut up and let's go for a little ride.
Hi-ho, it's home from work we go. Hi-ho, 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 it's home from work we go. Hi-ho, hi-ho. Hi-ho, 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 it's home from work we go.
One of the things that I've really come to appreciate is that amazing Imagineering attention to detail. It really comes through in the tools that they created and they built, which is why we thought it would be so fun for you to see that. Because, as you see, this is about picking out every moment of the ride, making sure that it can be as special as it can be. So we're really excited about the Star Wars Roller Coaster. My three boys, by the way, can't wait at all to see it. So we're looking forward to rolling out to you. Thanks, Bruce. That was awesome. Thanks.
Perfect.
best jobs in the world. I have to confess that tomorrow morning I'm off to Hawaii. And that's because we're just days away now from opening Aulani, our spectacular new resort and spa on Oahu. Aulani combines the beauty of a Hawaiian paradise with a touch of Disney magic. We welcome our first guest to Aulani on August 29th in anticipation of our grand official opening in September. So what I'd like to do today is try to give you a little taste of just how incredible Aulani will be. Take a look.
Imagine a magical paradise, so inspired by the spirit of family that only one family could have created it. Introducing Aulani, a new Disney resort and spa in Hawaii, unlike any other. Aulani, a family paradise with just a touch of magic.
Pearly shells of the ocean, shining in the sun. Pearly shores, when I see them.
Mahalo and aloha!
Aulani is just the answer for families who want a great Disney experience while enjoying all that Hawaii has to offer. In crafting this beautiful resort, we've taken key learnings from our other businesses, like Adventures by Disney and the Disney Cruise Line. We've created specific spaces for kids, teens, and adults, as well as places where families can relax and play together. Aulani truly does have something for everyone. For our younger guests, we have Auntie's Beach House, a club created just for kids, where they can take part in a variety of fun activities, unique adventures, arts, crafts, games, and of course interact with some of their favorite Disney characters. For teens, we've created Painted Sky, the only spa in Hawaii created just for them. With its own private entrance, this one-of-a-kind place will feature computer stations, special events, lounge spaces, a yogurt bar, and some terrific spa experiences designed specifically for young adults. Now, for adults, they'll also be able to relax and unwind in an extraordinary 18,000 square foot spa and fitness center called Lani Vai. Lani Vai means heavenly waters, and this place is just like that. It offers a complete menu of traditional services along with many unique treatments that are based on ancient Hawaiian healing traditions. I'll try as many as I can and report back to you. You do what you can. This spa really, though, is going to be unlike any other. Of course, for those guests who want to do nothing but sit and soak up the Hawaiian sun, we have an amazing pool, water slides, a lazy river, a stunning beach that runs along an idyllic lagoon that's perfect for every member of the family. Now, I'd hoped that Joe Rohde, who's a familiar face, and ear for that matter, to all of you, I hope that Joe, he's the lead creative Imagineer on Aulani, I hope he could be here, but he couldn't because he's actually there right now overseeing the completion of the resort. But I asked him if he would put together a special D23 only video tour of the resort to show you some of the incredible details that few outside of those working at the resort have seen. Please take a look.
Aloha and welcome to Aulani. I'm sorry I can't be there at D23 because we are busted in here trying to get this resort open by August 29th, which is coming up really, really fast. It's really beautiful. I'm so proud of all the work that everybody's done. Aulani is kind of a blend of traditional and contemporary expressions of Hawaiian culture, blended together with all the Disney magic, special effects, quality of service. It's just an amazing place. We're here in the lobby of Aulani. It has a name. The name of the lobby is Maka'ala. Maka'ala is a Hawaiian word. It means open up your eyes and look around and you're going to see stuff. And that's exactly what this lobby is about. There's stuff everywhere. There's art, there's artifacts, carving, sculpture, patterns in the rugs. All this stuff relates to this grand story of Hawaiian culture. The arms of Aulani reach out and surround this big, beautiful valley, which we call the Waikolohe Valley. Waikolohe means water of mischief. And we call it water of mischief because, of course, there's all this magic and special effects out there in the water and around the stream. So it's not simply a place to go swim and lounge in the beautiful sun. It's a place to have adventures. And those adventures are waiting for people at all different levels and scales. There's the big water slides that come off of this huge rock outcropping at the far end of the Waikolohe Valley. There's tiny little secrets hidden in the garden. Little bits of magic that you might only catch after dark, and hidden into the landscape are these sculpted images of animals and ideas that are important to Hawaiian culture. I'd love to keep talking about this, but I really have to get back to work. There's so much to get done. It's an amazing place, and it's huge, There's stuff everywhere. There's so many things to do, so many details. It's like the vacation of a lifetime. It's all just about ready, but not quite ready. So hold on to your horses, let us get the work done, and Aulani will be waiting for you when you arrive here on that first opening day.
For those of you who don't know Joe, he always talks like that, sometimes faster. That's him. It's just a huge bundle of creative energy and this infectious personality that you can't help but have. I can't wait till we open the doors of Aulani to our guests because it's really going to be an incredible Disney experience. In fact, you can't take me seriously right now. I think it's going to be so incredible that we want to send one lucky family who's here with us today to Hawaii to experience it for themselves. So, we have randomly placed a D23 sticker under your seat. So if all of you look under your chairs, one of you is our lucky winner.
I don't know where it's at. Don't ask me.
Congratulations. We can't wait to host you in Hawaii. I hope someone got a picture of this. I promised Joe I'd send him one. He didn't think I'd do it. So from Aulani, we crossed the Pacific to the sea. Somebody in the front just said, just check on YouTube. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Hope you got my good side. From Aulani, we crossed the Pacific to the single biggest project we have underway. That, of course, is the Shanghai Disney Resort. Shanghai is one of the most significant opportunities we've seen since Walt first bought land in Florida. In April, we officially broke ground on Shanghai Disney Resort. Of course, this is our 6th resort destination around the world and our 3rd in Asia. Between our expansion going on in Hong Kong and Shanghai Disneyland, we're extraordinarily excited about our prospects in China. Our goal with Shanghai Disney Resort is to create an authentic Disney experience that is tailored specifically for the tastes and culture of China. The resort will be built in the Pudong region of Shanghai, just outside the city itself. So I've asked Imagineer Bob Weiss, who's the head creative executive on Shanghai Disney Resort, to join us here today to give you a special look at a project that I believe will become an important part of Disney's global legacy. Ladies and gentlemen, our lead creative executive on Shanghai Resort, Bob Weiss. Thanks for coming, Bob. Now, Bob and I were actually just in Shanghai last week. So I actually put together a slideshow from that visit. You didn't like to do that, did you? I did not know you were. Well, let's see if I can. So work is well underway to prep all of the land we need. And that's what we're really there to look at. We're literally building this park from the ground up. So there's a lot of infrastructure work that needs to be done before we can begin building. Shanghai Disney Resort, of course, is a joint venture with our partners, Shanghai Shenhe, and they're currently overseeing the site preparation. I have no idea what these two guys are, right? Anyway, once these two guys are done, they'll turn the site over.
We're working very hard, though.
And we'll begin vertical construction sometime next spring. So here's what the site looks like right now. And I don't think it takes much imagination to see just what a special place this is going to be. Okay, it takes a little imagination, but this is why we have Bob Weiss, an Imagineer. So Bob, maybe you can fill in a few details of the Shanghai Resort.
Okay, I will try. Sure, Tom, you've seen the site, and you know, it's enormous. It's an incredible canvas, actually, to work on. We're really starting to define our vision for the property, and we started at the center with an enormous new castle, and we are moving out from that, and the designs are making their way across the site for a whole new kind of Magic Kingdom. While most people see an empty tract of land or mud, we see a stunning resort with a wonderful new theme park, a huge lake, 2 resort hotels, and an extensive retail dining and entertainment complex. Show up. There you go, the clicker. Shanghai Disney Resort will be filled with classic Disney experiences, but created specifically and tailored to the people and the culture of China. We're well on our way into the blue sky phase, of our development, and even a good deal of what you may see today will evolve and change over the next several months as we complete that process. This resort has actually been in development for almost 10 years. And we've done an incredible amount of preparation and research to get ready. We've met with many people in China, from students to writers to producers, to get feedback on the best way to deliver our Chinese stories to this audience. We've conducted lots of informal research with Chinese school groups who have visited Disneyland, and we've talked a lot to them about what attractions they really liked and why. And we've spent a lot of time traveling and exploring this incredible country, traveling throughout the country to incorporate as much authenticity into our designs as possible.
You see, I'm not the only one who's taking some great trips and called it work.
We're very conscientious. But really, to ensure that we're being culturally sensitive in this amazing country, and telling the stories that we tell, the experiences that we create, but we're also trying to build an Imagineering team that includes Chinese artists, architects, writers, engineers, to work closely with our teams here in Glendale and in our new office in Shanghai to really connect and make sure we connect well with the Chinese audience.
Maybe mention the example that we just talked about in the last update.
Well, one good example is dragons. Dragons are very prevalent in Chinese mythology, and we've learned that they have to be treated in very specific ways. So we actually considered having a dragon show scene down underneath the castle, or castle similar to the way we have in Disneyland Paris. However, because the dragon can actually represent the Chinese nation as a whole, we thought about putting a dragon in a dungeon, probably not a good idea.
So one of the things I'm most pleased about really is the incredible level of thought and detail that you and the whole team are putting in every single aspect of the park. But on that note, let's talk a little bit about the castle.
Well, all of our castles are incredible, but we think Shanghai Disneyland's castle is going to be a wonderful, immersive thing unlike any that we've ever built. But rather than show you drawings and paintings, I thought you might like to see a new piece of CGI that we've just completed. It's very rough, but it's a piece that will give you a little tour of what we plan for the castle. We're thinking about it as an enchanted storybook castle. It's the first time we've done a castle representing all of the princesses rather than any one. It has a huge integrated performance stage right in the center of it for our entertainment spectaculars. It will be highly immersive. It's the first time we've put an extensive bibbidi-bobbidi boutique right in the ground floor of the castle. There'll be a place to meet the princesses. On the third floor, we have an entire immersive interactive attraction that takes you through all of our great stories. And it will host a huge, beautiful table service restaurant on the second floor. And that double helix central core that you saw in that illustration is filled with immersive features and special effects. And I'm actually kind of excited to announce at D23 something that we haven't told anyone yet, which is that this is the first castle which will actually have a ride going through. There will be a beautiful ride that goes all through Fantasyland, and the finale of this ride is this scene in the base of the castle. It's going to be a gorgeous attraction, and you'll witness this transformation in this grotto where these bright fountains and music and waters will dance all around you in a magic experience of music and color.
Looks awesome. Thanks.
mind-boggling. So we've obviously got a lot of work ahead of us, but I really couldn't be more excited about where the path is taking us. Now, as long as we've got you here, maybe you can talk a little bit about the little project we're working on across the street, which, ladies and gentlemen, of course, the expansion of Disney California. As you may know, Bob has been helping oversee this multi-year effort. And it's really infusing the park with more classic characters, more Disney storytelling, more atmosphere, and frankly, more Disney DNA. So, Bob?
We actually have to thank all of you, the cast members in the audience, for the tremendous support in this reinvention of DCA. It's going so well. I'm hoping that some of you saw the new main entrance that was just revealed a few weeks ago, or Thursday ago. That is just the gateway into the next big phase of construction, which will transform this to Buena Vista Street. Buena Vista Street is, much like Main Street, USA, which reflects the town of Walt's youth. Buena Vista will transport guests to the Los Angeles of the 1920s and 30s, when Walt first came here to start his career in filmmaking and to create the company that we know today. It will completely reshape the entry experience to this park with a mixture of beautiful architecture, shopping, dining, and fantastic things.
I'm particularly excited about this. It's one of the things that I feel like this park didn't have, which was this great entry sequence with this huge atmosphere. So we would encourage people to stop, enjoy the park, and really take it all in, like Main Street does for Disneyland.
And I think some people here in California have a nostalgia for the red cars. Used to run throughout our Southern California area, and we are bringing them back in a highly detailed, wonderful experience. You'll be able to take them from the main entrance all the way out as far out as the Tower of Terror. Now, we also just finished a wonderful 3D fly-through of our model for Buena Vista. And this will give you a sense of what will be behind that main entrance when it opens, when we reveal that. As you can see, it will be an immersive environment, the best of California's history and the best of Walt's history. You'll walk down this very intimate, narrow, tree-lined street. You'll see the red cars coming around. And at the end of the street, framed by Buena Vista, you will see this beautiful new icon, completely new icon for DCA, which is a reinvention of the Carthay Circle Theater.
Don't forget to tell them about the great restaurant that we're putting in the Carthay Circle Theater, which is being developed by our amazing chef, Andrew Sutton from Napa Rose.
It's going to be a fantastic experience, as Tom said, and an anchor to this reinvention of the new DCA.
Well, thanks, Bob. Some of you may have noticed a subtle little piece of rock work going on up a mountain range we're building across the street. As you all know, that's the backdrop for Cars Land, the single biggest component of this Disney California Adventure expansion. So, here to join us to talk about this all-new 12-acre land is a veteran Imagineer who actually began her career right here at Disneyland in 1976, selling rubber snakes and shrunken heads at Adventureland. I didn't know that yesterday. So, thank you, Bob, and ladies and gentlemen, the executive producer for Cars Land, Kathy Mango. Thanks for coming over from the job site. Looks like you might have changed.
Yeah, it was a little dirtier earlier today.
So Cars Land really is one of the most anticipated aspects of the California Adventure expansion. So maybe you can talk a little bit about where we are, but also I think the inspiration for this land and how the Imagineers are really bringing the world of cars to life.
Oh, sure. Well, like Tom said, I just came from the site. I spent the entire morning there, and it is awesome, you guys. It is so incredible. The first thing we did when we were starting to work on the design of Cars Land is we went and watched the movie about 100 times.
Yeah, you and me both, I have boys.
Yeah, you've got your reasons. We needed to get to know the characters and the place so much better than we already knew them because we're building their world that they live in. After after we did that, and after we really got familiar with the characters and we sort of laid out the street, then we went on a fantastic 8-day trip of Route 66, and we really followed in the footsteps of the Pixar filmmakers who've been ahead of us for the Cars movie, because we wanted to get to know the people and the places that inspired the movie that's inspiring the land. Because in Cars Land, our guests are going to be able to get to go into the shops and the restaurants that are owned and run by characters like Flo and Ramon and Lizzie, and it was really important to us that we make their places reflect all their personalities. There's a couple places we were very specifically inspired by, and one of them is shown up on the screen here, and that is the Yellow Horse Trading Post in Arizona. You can see that there's beautiful rock formations, and we incorporated a lot of those formations into our own mountains. Another, I think our rock is bigger too. It's so spectacular. So there's another place that had a really interesting history to it that inspired us, and that is Two Guns, also in Arizona. And a lot of the buildings that were there inspired the Q structures that we're designing for Radiator Springs Racers. And along the way, believe me, we really met some interesting characters.
Okay. I think I recognize most of the people in this picture, but who's the Imagineer in the striped pants?
His name is Harley Russell, and he and his wife, Annabelle, and what he's wearing is what he calls his redneck tuxedo. He and Annabelle are the mediocre music makers of Erie, Oklahoma. They are huge fans of Cars Land, and we've even made them honorary Cars Land team members. What was so great about meeting Harley and Annabelle and so many other people on the road is that they had become friends with the people at Pixar. In fact, a lot of them went to the opening of Cars when it opened up in the East Coast. And they helped Pixar bring their film to life, and they invited us into that same circle of honor. And to us, that really gave us an even greater responsibility to really accurately reproduce just the friendly and the proud spirit of the Mother Road.
So, I know we're scheduled to walk on the site in a couple of weeks, and that'll be great, but can you give us a little update on the construction?
Yeah, in fact, if you've been inside the park recently, don't have to tell you that we are very, very hard to miss. But a couple days ago, I took a photographer out on site, and we got some views that you can only see if you walk Cars Land. So what we're looking at now, this is going to be our Route 66. This is our main street. It is the heart of Radiator Springs. And you can see off to the right, that is Ramon's House of Body Art, which will be a merchandise location for us. And off to the left, with the building with the tire finial, that is going to be Luigi's Pasadena Tires. And at the end of the street there, you see the white steel frame building. That is the framing for the courthouse that will anchor at the end of Route 66 for us. And you see off in the distance our mountain. Now, this is, I think, gotta be the world's largest wingnut. This day that we were out taking photos happened to be the day that we topped off Flo's V8 Cafe with this wingnut on top of the rotunda. So you can see that from a couple views in the park now, that it was an exciting milestone for us. And I can tell you, I've never worked on a project before where I can say wingnut as often as I'm saying wingnut. So the whole place is just going to be great. What we're looking at now are Sally's Cozy Cones. The Cozy Cones will be location for snack foods. It's going to look a little bit like what just slid over to the right when it was finished. Think of it as a cornucopia of food. Sally loves her cones. And of course, this is the play field for Luigi's Flying Tires. Luigi's Flying Tires. I probably don't have to tell this group is based on the old flying saucer attraction in Tomorrowland that goes in the You'll be able to get into your Fettuccine brand tire. Gust of air will come up from beneath you. Luigi will tell Guido to turn on the air compressor, and you'll go off flying. I have a tiny little update. We walked the site today with John Lasseter. We turned on the fans. We stood on the floor, and we are getting ready to test this ride. We're going to do ride testing in a couple of weeks, so we are very excited about this one. And of course, we can't talk about Cars Land without talking about our e-ticket, which is Radiator Springs Racers. going to be an incredible experience. You get to meet all your favorite characters before you end up racing another vehicle in and among all that beautiful rock work. And Tom, as you know, you tested it with us last summer. We had a test track up, and you know how much fun this is going to be.
I did test ride. In fact, John last spring, I got to go take a ride together. It was phenomenal. We just kept saying, go again, go again. Now, speaking of John, by the way, I know you walked the site with him today, and he's been a guiding force throughout the development, really, of Cars Land. Now, John's known for many things: his amazing creativity, his passion for storytelling, and his unique fashion sense. John, are you here? John never makes a move without one of his trademark shirts. And if I'm not mistaken, that was an inspiration for you here in Cars Land too, right?
Yeah, John has a Hawaiian-style shirt for all occasions, including some of these that are based on Route 66. So believe it or not, we asked him to go into his closet and bring us his Hawaiian-style shirts that have these different prints on them, and we gave them to our costume designers who designed for our cast members. And so when Cars Land opens, we will see some cast members wearing custom Cars Land Hawaiian-style shirts just for this land. All because
You may end up with some people trying to buy it for you before you're done. So really, one of the greatest things that we get to do at Parks and Resorts is to take these great stories and characters and sort of dive in and expand on them in a really immersive way. I know you're doing that here, so can you talk a little bit about some of the new stuff that you're creating?
Yeah, we are. We got to work with the filmmakers from the very, very beginning, and by doing this, you get some really great backstory that we are being able to put into, from the world of cars, that we're putting into Cars Land that you'll only see here. The first one you'll come across is Stanley's Oasis, and that's based on these great sketches that Pixar did for the movie. It's something that they wanted to include in Cars, but they ran out of time for. So once we saw these sketches, we realized that we found the perfect design solution for the covered structures that we needed for our queue at Radiator Springs Racers. And these are actually coming out of the ground now. So we are creating the location where cars can get a fill-up of cool water from Stanley, and he is the town founder of Radiator Springs. So the story goes, Stanley was a traveling salesman, and he found that he could make some money by selling radiator caps to cars that had overheated. So what he did was he offered them a free cool water fill-up from the original Radiator Spring, which we will be building. You can see the original spring. And then he made his living selling them radiator caps to replace them as they had blown. Of course, as he became more prosperous, he added more businesses, and that was the town of Radiator Springs. So it's really great that we get to get a little bit more into our personalities and characters. So the other backstory that is not seen in the films, which you get to see here, is a place called Tail Light Caverns. Now, we had gone to Pixar to talk to them about an ending to the attraction that we were calling Cars Bad Caverns. And John Lasseter, as usual, took that idea, ran with it, and made it a little bit better, and we're calling it Tail Light Caverns. And it's a space filled with stalactites and stalagmites. We call them stalagmites that would look like glowing red tail light formations that will look like Cadillac tail lights and classic cars. So it's going to be glowing and beautiful and just spectacular. So I can tell you, I just came from the site, and it is so exciting to watch this land come to life and change every day and getting a little bit closer to reality. Every time I walk it, we've got trees going in. The mountain is slowly revealing itself as we pull down the scaffold. And I cannot wait to show it to you all next summer when we officially open.
Thanks so much for being here and for all the amazing work you're doing. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
See you on the site. So, you all know Disney Parks and Resorts began right here in Anaheim. So, it's incredibly important to us that this resort fulfills our guests' expectations. And as such, the role of the president of the Disneyland Resort requires a keen appreciation for what makes this place so special, and it carries with it some special responsibilities. I have to tell you, I could not be happier or more confident in the person we have in that role. So here to talk a bit more about what we're up to across the street is the president of the Disney Resort, George Calagris. So George has been here a little over 2 years, right? A little over 2 years. By the way, when George and I walk the site together, it's hard to get through with him because he gets stopped so many times because he's so popular. But how are you feeling about all the changes that are going on here at Disneyland Resort?
Well, you know what? I'm feeling really great. What's really fabulous is the guests are already being able to enjoy all the new things at Disney California Adventure. World of Color, Little Mermaid, Silly Symphony Swings, Goofy Sky School, and most recently, I think many of you have had the opportunity to experience the new dining restaurants at Paradise Pier.
So, you're closest to the action. What are you hearing from our guests with all this going on?
Well, what I'm hearing is, first of all, the guests are very, very excited. They have been partners with us throughout this entire expansion project. They've shown intense interest in the work we're doing. And I think more importantly, they've taken all of the construction issues in stride, and they know that at the end of the day, this is going to be a fantastic project and a better guest experience for everybody.
So, one of the things that we've heard from our guests, and actually something that you and Nick Croft and I have been talking about, is that many of them want a deeper and more personal experience with the resort and with the attractions. So now, we've tried to take that feedback seriously. So we're excited to announce that we're working on a series of special experiences that will enable our guests to interact with their favorite attractions and characters in a whole new way.
In a haunted mansion with some of our Imagineers. Or sitting down at a tea party with your two favorite princesses. How about being able to step back in time to experience a Disneyland attraction from yesteryear once again? Like being able to enjoy a Planters Punch Tahitian in the Tahitian Terrace, or to be immersed in the pageantry and panorama of America the Beautiful, Circle So it just goes to show you that anything is possible at the Disneyland Resort.
So, speaking of special experiences, you all know that Club 33 has a really, really long waiting list. So long, in fact, we stopped adding names a couple of years ago. So, I sort of challenged George and his team to come up with some means of expanding our club offering here at Disneyland Resort. Now, we're in the early stages, but it's going well, it looks good, and we look forward to sharing more information on that expansion with you in 2012. All right, that was the team. Stay tuned.
Trust me, they'll keep me honest.
Yeah, I believe it. With all that's going on at California Adventure, we're also pleased to announce that we're going to expand somewhat the boundaries of Fantasyland over to Disneyland with a brand new experience called Fantasy Fair. We're going to transform Carnation Plaza Gardens into a storybook village. It's a square where we'll invite guests of all ages to step into this fairy tale realm. So let's give you a few details, George.
So Imagineering is hard at work on the design elements of Fantasy Fair. So these renderings are actually early renderings, but they give you an idea of just how charming and how enchanting it's going to be. At the heart of Fantasy Fair is Tangled Tower. It's an iconic sculpture inspired by the film that serves as a central gathering point for all.
So Bruce and I talked a little bit earlier about how special our princess experiences are. So inside the Royal Princess Hall, a trio of Disney royalty will welcome guests and provide a truly personal visit. Not only will it be a beautiful place to capture photos, but it's also going to give families ample time to meet with their favorite princesses.
The Fantasy Fair stage will be an incredible new entertainment venue that will enable us to bring the stories and inspiring personalities of our fairy tale heroes and heroines to life, and to let our guests become part of the story too. Each morning, when the park opens, Princess Aurora will welcome her royal guests and invite everyone to gather for a very special celebration. At various times throughout the day, families can join the Royal Ribbon Festival with the Disney Princess and our royal court attendants for dancing and celebration.
Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. But at night, Fantasy Fair Stage will still play host to the classic music and dance offerings our guests continue to love. So, for you swing dancers out there, don't worry.
Fantasy Fair will feature new food and merchandise offerings, all themed to enhance this new fairy tale experience. Because we know this is the heart of the Disneyland Park, Fantasy Fair will bring our classic characters and stories to life in a new yet timeless way, and we can't wait. We're very excited.
Thanks, George. Appreciate it. Thank you. So as I said at the top of our show, everything that we design and create is meant to give our guests opportunities to make moments that will last forever. I think Castle Fantasy Fair is a great example of that. So that's our show today. I hope you enjoyed the behind-the-scenes glimpse into the wonderful world of Disney Parks and Resorts. If you haven't done so yet, I hope you'll all go down and visit the Carousel of Projects Pavilion on the D23 Expo show floor, where you can explore even more of this magic that we're making. Before we go, I really want to thank all the crew that made this show possible, and also our special guests, Bruce Vaughn, Joe Rohde, Bob Weiss, Kathy Mangman, George Cavalier. Our wonderful musicians, of course. Thanks, guys, and our guest dancers. And of course, Mickey Mouse. Maybe we can bring Mickey out for one more number. On behalf of Walt Disney Parks and Resorts, thank you all for coming today. We hope you enjoy the rest of the expo. Bye-bye.